What's up, guys? It's me, Timothy, and we're gonna get started on a project. I just got done soldering. There's another video that's 3 minutes long, and I was working on the speaker. I'm still working on that same speaker. I had to stop. I said I was gonna do it tomorrow, but I said, you know what? Let me just do it now. I was just gonna do that, put that as a review. But I said, you know what? Let me do it now. Call it a day. So in our video, I'm just gonna speed up. 15-watt speaker, 5-watt speaker. I don't know how much watts these speakers are, so these are no names. But these are all good, and they're pretty much. I have my Bluetooth set up, my Bluetooth cable to connect these, and that's pretty much it. And we're gonna solder pretty much the whole thing together. I got my wires. We're using phone wire. The phone wire is really thin, and it works when you're soldering motherboards. So yeah, and then next after that, in the next video, I'm gonna show you how to set up a power supply for the speaker, so you have a full battery charge. And that's it, and that's fine. So let's get started. Let's go. I've been trying to do this video for the last 15 minutes. So let's do this. Alright, so I'm going to split these wires, and then we get started. I have my solder here. I should have started at the beginning at what we're going to be using. This box was used, so, but here rattling. I think solder's in it from the last job I did. Not gonna worry about it. So, got this off somebody for around, I think it was $30. So I'm gonna do this, and we're gonna get started. I have another speaker in the background that I will show you later on next video of how I did it. And it's the easy way. It's basically splitting wires and putting it so you get the right connection and get the right sound, the right quality. It's like having the best sound system, but the best sound system is made from you. So that's pretty much what I'm doing. So yeah. So I'm pretty much splitting the wires, and when I split these wires, it allows me to set it up so I can solder. As I said, phone wire. When you're soldering motherboards, the phone wires are so thin where you can solder it and it won't be bulked up. But even though you still have to worry about bulking it, even with phone wires, you can still bulk it up and still you can mess with the motherboard. Then you have to clean off the solder, the new solder that you put on, and then clean it off, reuse the old solder, and put new stuff on. So that's also a process that you have to worry about rebuilding these type of speakers. Anything can happen. Just know that I could get burned at any certain time because I'm not certified, but I have been I practiced multiple times. I've done jobs non-certified by my school, and so pretty much this video is just going out to all my friends. That's the only friends I know, and my family. That's pretty much it. So whoever else watches this is whoever this video gets shared to, it's whatever. But have fun. I hope you enjoy. So yeah. So yeah, we're gonna get started. So pretty much I already desoldered pretty much everything on here, and these wires are going directly to the motherboard, and I'm also setting up another one that goes directly to the battery. After setting up the one direct to the battery, I can't put it on a graph, but I'm going to show you on a piece of paper. I'm going to write it out and show it to you. So you're going to have two negative positive charges, and I'm going to show it how it goes out on paper and how to connect this go out. And basically, if you don't do the polarity correctly, you have a reversal effect, and then the speaker will have bass at different time periods. It's supposed to go more at the same time, so it can work together, not in sync, but it's supposed to work together. So let me get a piece of paper, so I'll show you. So, pretty much, what I'm going to show you is I'm going to show you where the layouts for everything is. The board, I'm going to show you how the board is about this big. all the connectors are right here. I want to show you the layout of the connectors on the piece of paper. So you get about 6 connectors. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so put it. All right. So the first 2 connectors, negative, positive, and then positive, negative. Positive, negative is for the battery. Hold on. Yeah. So negative, positive, positive, and negative for the battery. So if these are not wired properly on this motherboard, you will be messing up yourself and messing up your speakers. The reason why, because as I said, you also have an adverse effect. Adverse effect will pretty much you can't. It won't blow out your speaker, but you also will hear a muffle. A muffle that would be irritating. After a while, when you hear it, it becomes to a point where you can't stand it. So when you do this, you're also thinking about why you're doing this, what's the sense, and just the common things you think about when you build something. What's gonna come out to. So the reason why I said also, because if you're working with a lower voltage speaker and a higher voltage speaker, it has a big thing. They give off different bases, but the difference is this base for the small speaker for 5 watts, and it puts out pretty much the same amount of power for the 15, but I don't know. But me using it, I seen a lot of difference. So that's one thing that you have to realize. And then I also have these little tiny ones, and they're gonna be put onto the side of the box. Another video. We're just gonna get this set it up and get started because I'm nearly down here. So I don't have my wire split is not working, so I just use regular scissors. Wire splits you can get from Home Depot, Home Goods, and Home. Well, the first one I ever bought, and surprisingly, Home Goods don't really sell those type of stuff, but they had a little section, electronic section, and they had like screwdrivers and stuff, and wire clippers. So I found wire clips at Home Goods, and then you can also go to Lowe's and get some stuff, or Walmart. So Walmart, you can get a lot of these parts from Walmart. You get Bluetooth motherboards from Walmart, or go to Micro Center or PC Richardson. So if you want to get a lot of these parts, you can go around. But if you want to get speakers and stuff, I would go to Walmart or Micro Center or PC Richardson's. Other place I would go to if you want to get solder, I would go to one of the art stores that has a lot of soldering irons and all that stuff, or also go to Micro Center and PC Richardson's. If you want to go get speaker cabinets, I would go to Guitar. It's a Guitar Center that sells speaker equipment, headphone equipment, everything in the world. So that's one thing that you have to think about. The next thing you have to think about, if you don't have a soldering iron, how you going to solder? You can get one of these off of Amazon for like $19, $20. But the highest, it's best to get the good ones. But I'm using a much cheaper one because it's the only one I can afford, and it works for me. And I'm not having any troubles with it, so it's whatever. And this is the one where it sucks up the solder, it sucks up flux, it sucks up pretty much everything that you can think of. And this is one of the best ones I have. My second one didn't work too well, and on a video, it took too long to melt down the solder. So it's one of the things you have to realize. So let's get started. Let me stop rambling and talking. I showed you the negative, positive, and now I'm going to show you how to set this bad boy up. So we're going to connect these. This came with this system already. I just haven't used this Bluetooth system about a year. Not a year. I haven't used this for the summertime because what happened was the speaker fell in water. The speakers didn't work on it, so I tested the motherboard out, and the motherboard works, but everything else was a little off. So what does that mean? Everything needs to change. So I changed out everything and did whatever, and my thing was the speakers are just bad now. It's not waterproof because it was a so-called in the box. It's the off-brand speaker. It said it was waterproof, but it's not waterproof. So the motherboard still worked. There's no damage towards the motherboard. I tested it out multiple times. So I will put another video where it shows us using the speaker, because also we also have the iron power supply for the speaker. So we're gonna do soldering. We're gonna disconnect this. I was just showing you how it goes on. So we're disconnecting this, and I also have a short amount of time because I don't have a lot of recording time. So yeah. So one thing you have to worry about is these buttons on top. Anytime you have a speaker that has the buttons on the soldering points on the bottom, and you have the buttons on top of the solder points, just make sure you be careful, because if you're not careful enough, you could accidentally pop off one of the buttons. Click the power button. The power button is the main one, and right underneath the power button you have the other connectors, and they can get messed up easily. So that's one thing you have to worry about. So I'm gonna split these wires, and we're gonna get started. If you fast forward this is gonna take me a good 2 minutes to split these wires. I'm gonna use scissors. So you fast forward about a minute if you can. I should be done before the next minute. So I said it should take 2 minutes, but it might not. You fast forward it. Awesome advertisement, DJ. Ooh, I like this song. Solder wires, get started. So those people who's watching later on, it's gonna be really a big thing with this, because a lot of people, they wonder and they try doing stuff like this and it doesn't work out, and like I tell them, it's not that you don't understand, it's like a lot of work. The work put into it, it might not seem like a lot, but it affects you in the long run if you do something wrong. So you can burn yourself up. B, wire the wrong thing, you might have an explosion. Some people have speaker bombs where they blow up the speakers, turn max volume, and then you hear and it explodes, it catch a fire, and you're not able to like sacrifice or get anything back. See, I learned from my mistakes that I plan on not doing that. But I beg you, whoever copies this video and tries to do this, I beg you, don't make any mistakes, because at the end of the day, you will face back the consequences. And it might catch you back in the long run. So yeah, trust me. Alright, so I'm pretty much taking off solder because I have too much. So I have a lot of stuff to do. So I'm not supposed to be doing this. So, yeah. bring the charger? Plug in my phone for me. Thank you. Yeah, I got you. Usually, YouTubers make it seem so easy. It's not that easy. It's years of practice. I only have like 2 years of practice of soldering, so it's kind of hard. So yeah. Hold on, I'll plug this in. So I don't want my phone to die while this video is going. I'm sorry. It's quite a long video, I'm not gonna lie. Got one wire down. Next wire. So the layout for this one is gonna be yellow to red, yellow to red, yellow to red. Well, yellow to red, yellow to red, red to yellow. But since I'm wiring it, I'm gonna know what it is, so it doesn't really matter. And when you do, honestly, for batteries for this speaker, it doesn't matter if you put negative, positive, negative, because it actually still works no matter what. I've tried it with this motherboard, and I have got impressive things, as some people say. So yeah. So I'm gonna continue. I have too much solder on the board, so sometimes when you have too much solder, it makes it hard when you're doing your soldering jobs. So we're going to take off some solder. We're going to take off the wire. I just took it off. And we're going to take off the solder off the board so it doesn't affect us in the long run. Alright, came off. That was hot and hit my foot. Alright, so we have leftover solder. We're going to reuse the leftover solder. And now we're going to solder on the thing. We're going to solder the wire so when we slap it on, it just stays on. And that's it. So, yeah. And now it's at the... My soldering gun is dirty, as you can see. It's black, so it's supposed to be black. It's supposed to be silver. Or like a brass color. So I got my solder that I'm going to be reusing. I'm just trying to find a part where I can solder at, and that it would stay because my solder is really dirty. Give me a second. And we start back on this. It's a long process. It's gonna be my third build on a system with solder. My other systems, it took me without soldering, just connecting the wires and all that stuff. It took me less time and it was much more easier. This one's gonna be much more a long time. So I'll fast forward this like 10 minutes in. Sorry about that. Alright, so I had to clean off my thing with this little scrub pad. The reason why I went ahead, you have too much. After a while, the flux from the solder, it burns. And when it burns, it melts the solder from off the soldering iron, giving you solder. It's pretty much that melting thing that turns it to like a drop of liquid. Turns it back into a liquid. Instead of it back into a solid, it turns back into a liquid. So now I got these wires. I keep saying wires. Solder. I'm gonna just tap them in. Let's try to more like a longer stretch of cable. This video I was hoping for it to be less time, but no, it's a lot more. So you might fast forward until you reach to the end. It's gonna be a lot. Alright, next wire. Alright, got the first set of wires down. If you have leftover solder, it's good to take it off because it can mess up the connectors on the board. Use like a rubber, a little simple little rubber like this to rub it off so you don't scratch the board. So now what we're gonna do the same thing here, rub this out. Alright, once it's done, now we get the other wire to set for the speaker for the left. So I set up the left speaker, well, hold on. I set up the right speaker first, now it's the left. So now I'm setting left, so left. I should have split them all at once, but I said I'll just do it, take time. Because if I rush, I could mess up, and then I can either burn myself, as I said in the beginning, burn myself or do something that's without me being conscious of. So just take these wires out. It's best to just do this. Oh yeah, lonely nights, but we found tonight. We believe it was all yours. Woke up inside. So it was worth it. So I'll put some more solder on the solder iron so I get my solder. Not enough solder. Alright. Now to solder the next wire on. So bend it the first set of wires to the side so you don't accidentally burn them. Because when you burn them, you're done. What is? Send me. I sound like some fake power music. Yeah, alright, got the wires on. This is the hardest job. Soldering is the hardest job. I want to do this when you get older. Now, I have to clean these. If they accidentally touch, you'll fry the circuit. Just remember that. So, the soldering's done. So now the next thing is get these wires together. So, see? Perfectly soldered in the correct position, the correct possible way. Now it's time to get big boy soldered and little bro soldered. So, yeah. I wanna change this now. Change don't get me. So, we're not going to resolder this part. The main job was to solder the motherboard. And then, later on, we find out a power supply. Next week, I'm going to show it working, condition, and everything. So, I was like, pretty much, I was holding off on this project until sometime. But I said, you know what, let me get it done right now. And nothing else is good to do. So, I'm like, you know, let's just do it now. Call it a day. It's not going to hurt me. And also, the reason why I'm not soldering these wires, because when I want to put this in, I want to be able to take the wire off on soldering this. It's a long job to do. So yeah, I was about to start sweating because I didn't know if I was going to do it properly, and I did it properly finally without having to refix my work that I messed up. So now the fun part. Said this in the beginning, said forget everything else. So this wire right here is going for the heavy duty speaker right here. So we're gonna tie this on and just tap it, and so cause they can come on there, cause so a lot of solder on there already. So that's it. I always do a pull test on my wires, because drop it one day and the wire and the speaker flies out. You need to be able, if you pull, it still stay on, or yeah, or so your speaker won't get damaged. It's actually sometimes good for it to pull off. So just in case the speaker's not that good and you want to salvage it, you do that. But like, if you don't want to do anything, it's whatever. Don't worry about it. That's my little sister. She just walk around. Not little sister, the aunt. Don't worry about the little aunt. She's a noisy little girl. That's what she is. Anyways, I had to clean this off because it had too much burnt flux, so it was supposed to look like copper. This song was fine for a bit, but I guess not. DJ said it sounds gay. I agree, DJ. Done soldered. So I'm gonna get power supply. It's gonna take me a couple seconds. We're gonna get USB power supply, connect it, and see if we get any Bluetooth connection. If we don't, then I'm gonna have to take it apart and redo this thing over again. And hopefully I don't have to do that. So I just spent 38 minutes and 59 seconds. So, and counting. So I would not love to do that over again. I think that'll be a waste, but yeah, if I have to, I have to. If I don't, I don't. That'll be good in my pocket. That means I go tonight and I could play Fortnite, PUBG, and Dragon Ball Z Legends, and Shadow Fight 3. I'm going to be posting some videos on Shadow Fight 3 on YouTube, so hope you watch that. Oh, the main job is done. We can worry about power supply like later down, because power supply is not that important. Power supply is not that necessary unless you're going to be on the go. I'm not going to be on the go right now. I have a power supply, but I don't know if the battery works, so I'm not testing it. So we usually always put our motherboard on a piece of paper, because where I'm working on it has metal. And we don't want to short circuit anything. That's a good thing. So I'm gonna go get our power supply from upstairs, and we get started. Once we get started, I think we should be fine. I think I might not have to go upstairs. I think it's in my book bag. So give me a second. Let's start. So I went upstairs for nothing, like an idiot, looking for a power supply. And my power supply is in my book bag. I brought with me to school. Oh, I'm a real numbskull. I brought both of my power supplies and I couldn't find it. I'm a dork. You know. So I got the power supply. We're gonna test this thing. Oh my god. I'm gonna test it. We're gonna connect this up. And now we're gonna test it and see if we get power. And then once we get power, we're gonna see if we get connection. Alright, we got power. So let's see. We got sound. We got sound. This is perfect. So let's test it out. I'm gonna ask my assistant. She doesn't like being on camera, she's shy. So I'm gonna ask my assistant to connect to that real quick and test this bad boy out. And we're gonna see how loud and how much polarity we're gonna get out of it. Not polarity, frequency. Can you please go to Bluetooth settings? I'm gonna turn off the Max Viper Max speakers. And connect to the first Bluetooth system that you see, my assistant. And we're testing it right now, and you should hear music coming out of it right about now. And I'm gonna bring this up closer so you can hear it. Bring this closer so you can hear when it starts. Is it up? Or just I connect to it one more time. I just turned it on, so it's gonna take a minute. It's gonna take a second to load. Does it come up? Let me try it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's try again. Now try. Just go now. Now go to music and blast it. Blast it so the mic can hear it. Where did Alexa come from? Louder? A little bit louder? What's it? Give it a second. Alright, we're gonna reconnect this, disconnect, and then reconnect. And now, try it now. No, food. No. Okay. Wait. You can hear it's working, but we want to put it so you can hear the bass frequency, so try to sing it to them. Having a lot of technical difficulties. Sorry. Song. Left and right is working. So I hope you enjoy. Leave a like, subscribe, video. So this was a really hard project to work on. It's not that hard, but the work put in it is difficult because you have to focus on more than one thing. Since we don't have enough tools, it's hard. So hope you enjoy. Leave a like, subscribe, and ciao.